Welcome back to another exciting, actually finally spring edition of Clark's Public Arts School. We are here in Vermont and it's beautiful. And I've got this skateboard that my kids started to paint on a while back, and then it kind of got like abandoned, and I've got some paint markers. And so, I mean, it could just be minimalism, and then I'm like destroying minimalism, which, you know, that could happen. I might get in trouble for this. I don't think so. I mean, I've been trying to like be like, hey, y'all wanna get in here and like do some more on this thing? It's looking cool, but you know, we could take it to the next level, and not interested. So here I am, just trying to find the right thing to paint on today. Let's see, what can I do? What can I do that's unpredictable? Since we've got all these cool things that are already on here, I'm just gonna like kind of bounce off. I love when I'm doing collaborative paintings to just be like letting it get informed. Ooh, a hollow cube, a sock. We've got a lot of things here. Let's see what we have. We've got a hollow cube, a spiral, some peachy colored circles with like kind of symmetric little leaf things. This thing, a window with like squishy green, purple stripes with like a little green angle on it. Red star. That symbol. What is that? The word open with like the holes of the letters filled in, which I love that. And some little dots on the holes, red dots. And a little wiggle. And the number 5, but in like, you know, counting down the days that you've been on the desert island. What are those called? Tick marks? Yeah, so we got a lot to work with here. I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow of like not really knowing what I'm doing, but doesn't matter. I'm having fun. I've had a really exceptional day. I teach at a program called Youth Build. It's amazing. And one of our students who hadn't been there for a few months came back, and it was a joyous occasion. Everybody was happy about that. We made a birdhouse. He made a birdhouse. I just kind of was like guiding that. But yeah, it was pretty dang special day. Went for a canoe ride yesterday. Saw some birds. It was awesome. All right, let's see. I don't do too many like symbols in my abstract painting, except for like sometimes I'll do like a zigzag, which I think looks like a saw blade. I'll do this. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. And I'll just bounce it off of this star corner. I do this, which I'd say kind of started off like many years ago, like a little Basquiat crown, but then it became like a 3D Basquiat crown, but then it just kept getting more zigzags, and then it was like a saw blade. So, what do we got? I'm looking for pink. Boom. All right, and then some of those little squiggles. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, here in Burlington, Vermont, where we're filming this, there's a lake, a huge lake. It was like it's called Lake Champlain, but that's just like the colonizer word for it. Womp womp. But everybody calls it Lake Champlain. And it's quite beautiful. The Adirondacks are on the other side of the lake. And it is a really nice place to go swimming. But since the spring, there were like 5 or 25 false springs this year. It was like, it's spring, and then it'd be like snow. and then like it's spring, and then it'd snow for like a week, and then so as a result, the lake in mid-May is freezing cold, and there is no way. Usually like by like June 1st, it's like that's kind of like the first day of swimming in the lake. I mean, there are those hardcore people that go in all year. No thanks. I'll put some purple next to this yellow because go Tigers. Oh, it's kind of running out. Let's see what I got here. Got some. Oh, this one is full to the brim. Heard some bullfrogs yesterday. That was cool. Heard bullfrogs, saw 2 egrets. What's the blue heron? Yes, a couple of herons, blue heron. Something that may have been a kingfisher. It like kind of looked like a seagull, but with like a really sharp, pointy beak and like a little more. Definitely didn't sound like a seagull. Was not a seagull. A little more elegant, stylish than a seagull. And they were swooping around. Saw some Canadian geese. Not a merganser. What's the black one? Oh, cormorant. Saw several cormorants, and there was even like some beef because the cormorant went up on some Canadian geese, and the Canadian geese were not having it. They were like, "Get out of here, dude!" They were just like freaking out. What else was there out there? Definitely some mallards. No surprise there. Heard woodpeckers. Oh my gosh, there were so many cattails. It was like in the swamp. I mean, they do have swamps in the Northeast, which I thought was kind of silly coming from Louisiana. Like, I was like, it's not a swamp unless it's got alligators in it. But I guess they really do have swamps here. And they have cattails. And playing amongst the cattails were so many red-winged blackbirds. And they were vibing. They were feeling it. They were pretty psyched. Oh, there's an X. I didn't notice that before. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Woo! There we go. Who here likes Keith Haring? Oh my gosh, I love him. There's a Keith Haring exhibit in New York at the Brandt Family Foundation. Brandt Foundation. It ends on the 30th of May. I don't see myself getting down there in time to catch it, but that is heartbreaking because I think I would be, if I went to see a Keith Haring exhibit, I think I'd be pretty much juiced up for like the next 6 years to be, that would be like filling up my creative tank with an apocalyptic scenario preparation level of creative inspiration. So maybe I do need to go and just say, just hop in the car and just make it happen and like, not care, get a hotel room, do anything it takes. Yeah, so we'll see about that. See if it happens. I did miss the Martin Purrier show at MFA Boston, but it's in Cleveland, and with I think a bonus round of sculptures that weren't in the Boston show. But yeah, drive into Cleveland for an art show. That's a bold move. But Martin Purrier, that dude's a king. And maybe one of the best sculptors ever. Well, definitely American sculptors ever. Yeah, he's just the best. That's just, if you look, Google image search Martin Puryear. There's a really good Art 21, probably 20 years old, Art 21, PBS Art 21 episode with Martin Puryear, where you're like in his studio and he's like talking about his process and like using chisels and stuff. Oh my God. I was like, dude, for a long time I wanted to like make a pilgrimage to his house and be like, can I mow your lawn? I still want to do that. So, I don't know if we'll see what happens. I connected with a friend recently in Vermont who knows him, and I was like, dude, can we make a pilgrimage? I would do a pilgrimage. I would drive a long way and like, use up some resources to make a pilgrimage to like mow Martin Puryear's grass or like sweep his studio out or just something like that. Just like, put me to work, boss. You're the king. Okay, let's see what's. I think this red is dry, but we're about to find out. And nothing, 0, done. It's over. I knew I was leaving something special on that table when I saw that red. All right, here's another red, but it's so skinny. That tip is clogged. Oh well. Orange. Yeah, let's do that. That could fit up in there. Boom. Went for a long time without like really doing much art history, like looking up artists and like studying. I like went for a deep dive that was like kind of like me doing like grad school of the streets. Deep dive when my eldest child was born 17 years ago, and I was like taking the stroller and babe to the library, and I was just like going for walks, and it was like winter in Vermont, and what else are you gonna do besides trying to get outside and get some fresh air. And I would just go to the library like every single day and get it like fill up the bottom of the stroller with like a stack of art books, and then just come home and be like just like blasting through, looking at the pictures. And I was consuming some art at that time, and I got really into like pop art, like Lichtenstein, David Hockney. I don't know if David Hockney's pop art, he's just kind of in his own category. But Elizabeth Murray, I found an Elizabeth Murray book that just kind of like blew my mind. And I had seen an Art 21 episode with her, or some kind of TV show with her, and was like fascinated with like, I love how like unabashedly like psychedelic and fun and like playful and like ugly. Like some of Elizabeth Murray's stuff is like really ugly, but like in a like fun way, and like kind of like fearless art making, and not making it try to be like a pretty picture, which some of that ugly. I just saw one of those what I thought was ugly, and now I think is like so badass beautiful. I saw one of those pieces at the Denver Art Museum recently, and was like, oh my God, I just couldn't even believe it. Like seeing that thing in person was like, there was so much to unpack. I just stared at it for like 20 minutes. I was like, okay, this is worth the whole trip, just to see this one painting. Saw a lot of good stuff in that trip. Awesome museum. Let's see what we got here. I don't really crack this color open too much, but it has survived not being opened for a long time. That's cool. That's a plus. All right. One thing that can be kind of tricky when I'm doing this show. Okay, let's see. I gotta get some I'm like, I gotta do something totally wild. Undulating stripes. That is not wild at all. Super predictable. One thing that I've noticed with filming this TV show is that I usually should just, it's like better if I just stick to a single color, because then I can actually like get something finished. Oh, I need light yellow. Here it is. Oh, and I haven't used, oh God, that thing is freaking cashed out. It's done, it's over. Got white. Haven't used white. That's what I was about to say. Wow, I like, oh, yeah, Friday, this past Friday, at Youth Build, my teaching day job that I love so much, we had 2 huge groups of students from the Philippines who came in, and we did like a collaborative art project with them where I cut out these letters that spelled 2 of the like Youth Build kind of like motivational like chants that we do is like they say like Youth Build, and then the response, the call is like you say Youth Build, and then the response is rise up. It's like empowering, rise up. And then the other one is like, what is it? And then they say easy work. So I cut those 2 phrases out of pine, 3/4 inch thick pine, and then all these students collaborated on them. But it was really fun. They were amazing groups of young people. I think they're aged 15 to 17. Some organization called PH. I don't know too much about it. I think they were like doing some kind of like conflict resolution was like the theme of what their group was like learning about, which maybe seems like it could be like kind of like Model UN or something like that. I don't know. They were awesome though. They just hopped right on that art project and were like, it just showed me how international vision. Oh, hello. Squish. Let's see if I can go. Maybe I can like squish it down with my hands. It was really exciting to see how international art making is, like right there in person. I mean, you know it is, but then like when you see a group of students who have just been, they're basically like across the world from their hometown, and they just like hopped on that art project like it was like oh, another Friday, and it's so fun. And like the artwork, a lot of the artwork they made was like the same exact kind of stuff that like our students do when I give them like a similar like collaborative art project. Like, you know that S that people, I'll do one right now. There was like one student who did like a whole, his whole thing on these projects was making this S, which everybody loves that S. Such a classic middle school move. But he would make like a chain. He would make like a continuous one that just kept going on. So like there's like a little S chain on every single one of these letters that we did. It was pretty fun. But yeah, I was like, wow, like I made that S. I know that S. Such a classic move. Good times. Boom. All right, I'm gonna seal the deal here. Kind of finish this thing up. Oh, there's a heart. That's cute. Hello. Boop. Boom, boom. What do y'all think? Could do that. Oh, that. For sure. That's the move. All right. So, as I wrap up, I'm just going to say, get yourself an old beat up skateboard. I don't think this one's that beat up. It's like brand new. And some paint markers. And get cracking. Make some art. Do some drawing. Write the word open or any word. Art is very accessible to you, even if you think it's not. Like, it's just kind of, you have to if you're feeling like it's like inaccessible, you just have to kind of redefine what you think art is. And like, yes, drawing the word open and drawing some stars and hearts and stuff, that's art. So it doesn't have to be all serious. All right, y'all, have a good week. This has been fun, and see you next time.